Alright, so we want to start our server. Now before we do that, we need to have the database and SendGrid keys, right? Now let's see what happens if you try to start now. So we are inside the server folder. Let's try npm start, and you see the error message, cannot find module.env in server index.js. We have the .env. .env is here. Let me visit. Now you can see here, if you go to the routes auth, so we have these 4 authentication routes, and there's one, the standard one, just for you to give it a try. We have the slash as well, slash API. So all of them are prefixed with slash API because in index.js, when we apply as a middleware, we have prefixed with slash API. Okay, so that means you can go give it a try, visit localhost 8000 slash API, and that you should be able to receive this as a JSON response. So let's come here, let's give it a try. Localhost 8000 slash API. Okay, so we don't have it running, so we got this issue which is a little bit weird. Let me just check. .env we have installed, required .env, we have that one. Okay, I know what happened. I haven't run the npm install command, sorry about that. You can see here, once we run this make auth, that will create all the files necessary, but you cannot see the node modules folder because we haven't run npm install. So let's not forget that. Let's run npm install, and we'll wait for the env, and that's about it. Okay, so let's run npm install. All right, so all of them have been installed. Now you can go here. Now you can see you have the node modules and all these packages that are mentioned in the package.json, and all their dependencies, everything has been installed here. Awesome. All right, so now it should work. Let's try npm start. Now you get this error message because we don't have the valid MongoDB URI. Obviously we will put that very soon, but at the moment you can see the server is still running. So that means if you visit localhost 8000 slash API, you will get this JSON response, hello world from kilowatt of API. All right, you can see here, that is the endpoint. When you make a request, you got this response. Beautiful. All right, so let's go and sign up to Mongo Atlas so that we can start using MongoDB. Now if you have local install of MongoDB, it's very easy. Something like this, your DB name, you'll write here, and this is the string you will use. Okay, so if you have the local install of MongoDB, instead of using Mongo Atlas URL, you can just use it like so. So MongoDB //localhost 27017 slash any database name you want to give, just write it, and that's about it. When you run the application, your backend will automatically create a database by this name. Okay, so if you have MongoDB installed locally, nice and easy, that's all you have to do. But if not, no problem, we go and sign up to Mongo Atlas and we put that string here. Let's do it. So let me open a new window for that. Mongo Atlas. Okay, try free. Okay, so I'm just going to sign up with Google, so it's nice and easy, but obviously you can choose either way. Ryan Stripe Seller at gmail.com. Okay, yes, accept. Okay, so when you sign up for the first time, this is the window you get, and hopefully they will redirect us to the dashboard. Okay, so they ask some questions. No worries. Build a new application. What type of application you're building? We're building Internet of Things. Let's write. Oh, actually, mobile. It doesn't really matter. What is your preferred language? JavaScript. Okay. We want to try the free one, obviously. Create a shared cluster. All right. So this UI sometimes it might change in future, but just focus on the details and you should be good to go. So we choose the shared free version. Come down here. By default, AWS is chosen. That's all right. I live here in Sydney, so that is selected, but you can select any other places near you, no problem there. And that is the 512 MB of storage we get on free plan. All right, cluster name, we can give a cluster name. Let's call it links daily and create a cluster. All right, so how would you like to authenticate your connection? Username and password, that's the one. So username, this is different username. Okay, this is not the one that you use to sign up or sign up using email or Google email, not that one. This is the database user. All right, so let me just call it Ryan, and password, I'm just going to just keep simple. Create a user. All right, so database user has been created. Make sure you remember this username and password. All right, because you need to enter this one later in the URL string. So make sure you remember that. All right, so once you have that, the IP address you want to enter. Now you want to choose all IP address. So it looks like that doesn't have add entry. Add my current IP. Okay, so add my current IP. Now sometimes you might get some issues later because of the IP. You can always check out these menu options. You can see there's a network access. When you go there also you will be able to set the IP address. So this is the current IP. Now you can choose another one, add IP address, this option. I think it's happening, so just wait. Okay, so you can see you have this button. You can click allow access from anywhere. So when you do that, you don't have to manually add your IP address. It will be you'll be able to connect from any computers, which is good. Obviously you might want to change it a bit later when you're running it in the production, but you will still have the username and password, so obviously there is security there. All right, so we were going through the steps earlier, but like I said, you can go to each of these options from this sidebar as well. Now once you have that network access allowed from all the IPs, we can go to databases, and it is being created. So let's wait a few minutes and then we should be able to start using it. Okay, so once it's done, I think we will get the connection string by clicking here. All right, it's done and we have this clickable now. It is clickable. Let's click. To get the connection string, we need this option, connect to application. All right, so let's click on that one, and this is the URL string you get. So you can see here the username is already there, password field including this what do you call it, this tag opening and closing. So here you have to put your password, database password that you created earlier. All right, so let's copy this one and let's go to our application. All right, so here let me select from here to all the way here, and here you're going to paste that. Okay, so paste that, So that's the connection string, and you can also see here replace password with the password for the Ryan user. All right, what else they say? My first database with the name of database, that connection will be used by default. All right, so password, let's remove that, and use the database user password, which was just RRR in my case. All right, so that's a username, that's password, at, and that is the URI given to us by MongoDB. Awesome. So that's all you need to start using Mongo Atlas. Now you can give it a try, and once you start saving anything in the database, you'll be able to click on this button and browse your database. All the users, posts, whatever you have, they will appear here. Okay, you can visually look at your database. At the moment we don't have anything. All right, so that's looking good. Now let's start the server one more time. This time we should not see the database connection error like before. All right, so let's run this, and you can see here we got the successful message database connected. Awesome. Now that message is coming from the entry point index.js. We have the database connection here. If there was any error, we were console logging the error, otherwise we console logged db connected. So it is great. We have successfully connected our application to MongoDB. Now we can actually start using this API. We can start making requests, start saving the user in the database. But before we do that, let's also do one more thing. Let's sign up to SendGrid and get the secret key, so that we can later implement forgot password and send the reset code to the user's email.